think they've backed out of there, and that's what I think they are. I'll have to look it up. I meant to do it last night. Third video this morning on Friday, April 4th. There's a Philly fanatic. The day before a major protest tomorrow, noon to 3, City Hall. It's called Hands Off. It's a women's rights rally or march or protest. I heard it's going to be very big. This says Dance with the Devil, only in theaters April 18th, IMAX, Sinners. Does anyone know what that means? Dance with the Devil. Everybody has their own definition. So we won't get into it. All you have to do is, you know, have your arm lifted up in the middle of the night, like, whoa, someone like a ghost lifted up my arm. That is crazy. That could be partially a message that the devil wanted to dance with you. Unless they were trying to help, because everybody else got help and you didn't. So it could mean that a whole bunch of people got a lot of help in life, almost like on a great ride. You know, they get a great job, you know, they have money somehow it just came to them without too much effort, other than psychological manipulation and stealing, like big time, you know, wills and estates and stuff like that. But they would have to know how to do that. That's a little bit of a dance with the devil, I guess. They have the cotton candy one, not the Dubai Dunkin' chocolate donut. So it's online, the picture, and it looks so good. Everybody would be running out to get it. That's how good that looks. Orange cream. Okay. Rolled up the carpet over here. I'm going to be less than amazed by a skinned, skeletal, muscular being. Body Worlds, the Franklin Institute, vital. Ooh. I'm less than amazed because I'm grossed out. Thanks. Yeah. Get your tickets today. It's more, you know, technically it's made to be family oriented and for kids. They have a lot of things that kids can do there. But I have to say, I don't want to see a skinless, you know, skeletal, muscular person. So here's Dance on 74, back on 74, never gonna cry anymore. So there was a guy there, and that's who he reminds me of, the head dancer. So I do cry for everyone out here. If I were king, everyone would be safe and sound and in a home. No one would need drugs to cope with life, and it wouldn't become an issue. Drugs take over the brain, if people on them. Although, if you wind up in a homeless situation through any reason, even no fault of your own, nothing, you could wind up seeming like one because you're desperate. Being out here gives you the shakes, you're scared, you don't know where to go, no one's helping. All of that can create someone who looks like a drug addict. Do you hear me? Can you hear me now? So somehow someone wanted me to experience that feeling. And I totally get it. I always feel sorry for people as it is. Because what causes what? What's at the root cause of what? You know, there are a lot of people in denial about how much of a free ride they got in life. How all of a sudden they're like, oh, all of a sudden I can recite everything from the medical dictionary without even studying or having to commit it to memory. And they know they're out there. They know something came too easily at some point. That's the dance with the devil. So anyway, up here, yay, they still have it. The white tarp or canvas that's been closing off the east side of City Hall is draped or fallen a little bit. We think it's about the women's protest on Saturday, noon to 3. Hands off. That's what someone
come from the dollar store. Somebody had when they say
you can get $26. There's one on Walmart, a camera. It's not as good. This one's Amazon. This one, so it's possible, but you know it's hard. Anyway, my first camera, although it was very shaky and there was no way to stabilize the camera through a gimbal or whatever they're called, was a Vivitar, $26 Walmart. So we'll go over here. But the women's protest on tomorrow, noon to 3, meeting here, or really on the north side. 14th and JFK is what I heard. JFK is on the opposite side, so this is technically like we're on Market and Broad-ish, and JFK is a block south of Market. So, or I'm sorry, a block north. I always see that way as south. A block north of Market. So it would be over here, and that could be why this is draped. Back on 74. Never gonna cry anymore. So we'll walk around where I believe the protest is meeting tomorrow. It was played up in the Inquirer, which is a major newspaper here in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Inquirer. They've got a little sheriff's shuttle there going past that's a courtroom over there. This used to be a Courtyard Marriott, now it's the Notary. But they appropriately, I guess, had it named Courtyard Marriott next to the courthouse. Juniata Kids style. This, I believe, is where, let's see, JFK and 14th. So 14th is Broad Street. So Broad is here between these two horsemen on these statues, and JFK is basically the street that runs west, past Love Park, you know, in front of the Comcast building down there, even though the Comcast is set back. So there's a huge like front lawn or skirting or front, yeah, there's a restaurant in front of the Comcast. But this is where it's supposed to meet tomorrow noon. So this could get really crowded tomorrow. I heard it's supposed to be big. I'm a little bit out of the loop, so I heard it from a client whose dogs I walk. And I'll take her word for it. She seems to be in the know. I'm so used to underground populations of people being part of the protest world that I would, you know, wonder how big it would be. I'm used to underground people sort of rallying people together quietly with a critical mass email that people had, you know, signed up for with their, you know, safe emails, you know, protected emails that usually aren't Google or what have you. But although the one critical mass was through Google,